replace the little Bowser on the back of the tractor with this little pickup truck. This comes in various. You can use it without the water bowser. The water bowser detaches much like the frames on the two trucks that we own, and then you can use it as a bale trailer or bale thing. There's a cage. I think you have to buy a second truck with a cage on that you can put wood in. Chop short amounts of wood. What's that? Hello, Nexno. How are you doing today? Welcome to Lawfolds Farm. It's at the tail end of winter. Actually, let's ramp up the game speed a bit. Wow, maximum capacity. That's good. Run over the sheep. Yeah, that's one thing season 17 did, was it reduces the amount of water that an animal needs in winter and increases it quite drastically during the summer. Now, I haven't figured it all out yet, but I think that might not be the case in Farm Sim 90. They seem to have averaged out the animal breeding times and possibly their food usage as well. I don't think this is the fastest vehicle I own, but it does feel like the fastest vehicle I own. The trucks will do 70 because I specified the big engine. With the standard engine they'll only do about 45 as well. Left-hand drive on a left side road driving. It's not an easy thing to do either. I did the opposite in France, took a right-hand drive vehicle to France. That's kind of scary. Moving to America, driving on the right side of the road I have found to be not a problem, because it feels quite natural from where you sit in the car as a driver. Oh, well, we caught up the traffic. The the main entrance to the cow farm, although I hardly ever use it. Most of these trees are fake, so if I hit them, I'll drive right through them. Fences, however, are not fake. If I hit them, I will stop. So there should be a gravel path just down here. It's longer than I remember. Here we are. I won't be able to do this with the snow on the ground. Somewhere. Is this the water? Yeah. So, cows will need lots of water. We'll have to hit up the cows tomorrow for more food, I think. Sheep should last till spring, and then we can check that. So grass is 1% for cows. We have a lot of manure. We have a lot of pig manure too. Should probably think about that soon. Oh, and that's the other thing we could check is the digestate capacity up at the BGA. Tanks here. The water supply is there. Actually, that was a lot of water. The cows are relatively happy. I may just drive this back to the sheep farm then. Because again, it's winter. They don't drink much in winter. They need more straw in winter. So the back way to the sheep farm is to the right. Follow the track round this field to the right side of those trees up ahead. It involves opening and closing a lot of gates. So again, we'll just go back through the main yard. Whoa. Oh, still got a pile of snow there. That's where snow collected in the tippers. So I emptied them, and there's piles where you empty them. To the main farm. Just round the corner here, entrance to the sheep farm. So, did I say we had... yeah, we're back up to 22 eggs again. And now the egg game's easy. It's even easier if you put the flashlight on. Get off the eggs, dude. The eggs are always in the same place. But when there's snow on the ground, you have to remember where you walked already. It's not quite so easy because there's no footprints. How's that? Oh, wrong screen. 4 more. Well, I can see one over there. There's another one there. We'll get that one first then. And that one, which I saw. That one. One more out there somewhere. Is that one? Nope. Yeah, all but one's good enough, I think. Look at it from this angle. No, okay, back to the map. So what is this? Oh, right. We have... Oh, fermenting silage 100%. I haven't unburied it yet, so that's fine. We have a little bit more there. It should also be brewed now. 100%. And the most important part of the show. That says 514,064%. Yeah, therein lies the problem. We need more silage in the digester. 11 o'clock. Going to rain again today. Lovely. It's only worth 362 a bale, which ain't great. That's not really the issue. The big deal is that 16,000 litres of digester which is generated, which goes on the fields and is free stuff. Right, yeah, no, I know that because that's what happens in Farm Sim 17. It doesn't matter if you play 3-day seasons or 8-day seasons or 1-day seasons. What happens is when it changes from winter to spring, for example, it does a full recalculation of how much food is needed for the next season. Not for the entire year. And so on the first day of spring, you suddenly find that the water demand is much higher than it was during winter, because the water demand is normal for spring and fall. It's reduced for winter. And then again in summer, when you hit the first day of summer, it recalculates how much food is needed for the summer period. And again, you find lots more water is needed during the summer than was needed during spring. However, the demand for water in 17 is such that, let's say it decides the cows you have will need 60,000 litres of water for summer. It will divide that by the number of days in your over summer. So I'm playing with a 6-day season. So it's going to take that 60,000 litres and say the cows need 10,000 litres per day. If I was playing on an 8-day season, which is 24 days per early, mid, late, that would say, oh, your 60,000 litres of water is divided over 24,000, so you need about 3,000 or 2,500 per day. So there was never a disadvantage to playing longer seasons or shorter seasons. Obviously in 17 you had to feed the animals every 3 days, so they would have if you're playing 8-day seasons, you would have to feed them 8 times during spring, 8 times during summer. If you're playing 3-day seasons, you would have to feed them 1 time. Did I say that right? That's effectively, yeah. Now I know that in 19 they've kept the same premise. So you have to, it does a calculation and says, okay, they are going to need this amount of water. But I don't know whether they're going to need this amount of water for spring, or whether it says the water usage is averaged over the entire year. So the fact that they drink more in summer than they do in fall is not a thing. They just drink the same amount every day, and that's going to be something we're going to have to check as my Old Stream farm progresses. I'll probably end up using the water pump because that seems like an easy thing to do, but we'll track bale usage for feed and see how that works out. Obviously we can't afford to let them eat the grass. I'm not sure that would be enabled for Old Stream because they're not standard animal enclosures. I believe they have to be somehow registered 2 seasons in order for seasons to understand that, the sheep pasture has grass and there's this amount of grass that is able to be used to feed the sheep. Yeah, I noticed it does say food for the year, but I don't know whether that is we're just going annually and it's the same every day. Yeah, it only puts 10% in, but as it goes down, the pump will refill it. So I'm not sure that you actually need to get yourself a water bowser and refill the water for animals on seasons. 19. But I think once I've got all my ploughing done on Old Stream, I may buy some sheep and buy some hay bales, because obviously I have no grass stored. The other thing I won't be experiencing with Old Stream is, or at least I don't expect to be experiencing with the Old Stream, is rotting of hay and grass and straw, because the on-site silo allows you to store that product in relative safety, which should put it out of the grips of rotting. Way to see digestate content unless you drive up to it. You have the helper mod, or the whatever it is. Level 545. Keep forgetting, Farm Sim 17 doesn't have, or at least I don't have, gear shift mod for 17, so that's why I'll keep changing direction of view to reverse and forwards, because that's the buttons I've got mapped in 19 to select forward and reverse. Then I'll look backwards and drive forwards, because obviously there is no equivalent mapping for the accelerator and brake. Potentially, instead of using digestate, I might use up a lot of the manure that we already have for the second stage of fertilisation when I cultivate in those oilseed radish fields. And we'll be at 2 stages of fertilisation by the time all the crop goes in. Planter which I use for both the soybeans and the corn includes fertilisation, so we won't be doing need to do any additional fertilisation. Any fields that I put more canola or wheat or barley in will need further fertilisation. What did they say? What's their current testing window? 8 days, right. And I'm guessing in part that's because a bunch of them are down at the class headquarters for the farm con. So they don't have as many people available for testing. But there is probably a number of maps that have been resubmitted with mods for seasons. I believe Oxygen David pretty much said as soon as Seasons was released he'd already submitted. Why is it snowing? No, 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 no. No snow. Okay. Oh, no, 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 we don't want snow now. Snow is bad. Ugh. But I believe the Oakfield Farm announcement was pretty much the day Seasons came out. He'd submitted that for review by Giants.